Welcome to The Checkout. We catch up with previous guests of Add to Cart, where we ask them 5 quick questions to understand more about them and leave you with a little extra inspiration to get through your Friday. Today's mini episode features James Bartle, the founding CEO of Outland Denim. You probably know Outland Denim for making headlines after being worn by celebrities such as Meghan Markle and Leonardo DiCaprio. But Outland Denim is actually a socially conscious manufacturing movement disguised as a fashion company. And as you'll hear, James is passionate about denim and the craft of jean manufacturing, but it's actually his role in driving social change in the garment industry, which is truly inspiring. Now, James, before we let you go, I'm going to ask you 5 quick checkout questions.
Yeah, cool.
Number 1, what is the weirdest thing you've ever bought online?
Oh, man. I'm not actually much of an online shopper, but I'm just thinking about all the answers people could give there.
We've had some beauties.
Oh, man. Gosh, I don't know. I should have thought about that. Did you email me that one?
That's all right. We can come back to it. We'll treat this like a game show where you can come back.
Weirdest thing I bought online, man. They're probably not that weird. Yeah, come back to that one.
All right. Who is your favourite retailer, apart from Outland Denim?
Oh, gosh, that's difficult. There's a couple. One's called Knickers Store, Casuarina. They're based. Really cool retailer, the way they push stuff out. Another one, James and West and Burley. Another really cool local retailer. But I've also met some amazing ones in Canada and around the world. So from a boutique level, I think those guys stand out, but I have the most engagement with those ones because they're so close. But look, Nordstrom's and Selfridges, those big retailers, look, they're leaders for a reason. You go into Canada, Harry Rosen's and Holt Renfrew, it's just they're so beautifully curated. The way they're so thoughtful in the brands they put together and pair that. Oh man, there's too many.
I think I can guess this one, but which retail fad do you wish was history?
Well, I'm going to surprise you. Slow fashion, but also fast fashion.
What do you mean?
Well, slow fashion is the new thing, right? So buy from, thrifting and that's how we're going to save the world. We're going to save it through slow fashion, buy less. Well, I actually reckon that's the demise of the world. I think consumerism is the answer. It's just that we haven't been able to evolve our industry enough yet to be able to solve the issues through the purchasing and the selling of product. But if we stop buying product, we're going to have huge social issues as a direct result of that. And it's actually proven that. So what happens when there's big social issues? They go deeper into poverty. What happens when people are in poverty? They're vulnerable to becoming slaves. Well, you can directly link slavery to environmental degradation. So the only solution to solving the environmental issues or the social ones is creating products that solve those issues as a direct result of creating them. And we will then address the social and environmental issues at once and not separately.
So it's not about slow or fast. It's just about doing it sustainably and ethically.
It is.
Beautiful. Apart from Taken, can you recommend a book or a podcast that our listeners should immediately get into?
Well, I mean, it was only because I was having this conversation earlier with Australians who have never watched The Man from Snowy River. And, as far as a movie goes, it's probably the greatest movie that's ever been produced. So I know it's not a podcast or a book. But
I wasn't expecting that.
The Man from Snowy River, man. This is the best. It's the best film. I think there's a lot of really good resources out there, and a lot of it is probably it's a noisy space. But I'm pretty passionate about listening to, a range of views on every topic. So I probably don't just isolate one podcast or one book, because I think that we all come from our own slant. I think we do need to look at all angles so that we can, I guess, come from the space more of inviting people into the movement versus pushing them into a movement. The famous William Wilberforce of the mid-1800s, who was the politician that was responsible with his team for eradicating slavery back then, so the transatlantic slave trade. And it was a quote of his that, if you want to change anything, first you've got to change people's affections. And so I think, having a diverse view of and listening to a range of different things is really healthy.
How do you do that in a world where everything's so curated for you, whether it's social media or it's your news channels that kind of give you personalized articles? How do you get that wider view?
Well, don't go to Facebook and then read the news articles that pop up and think that you've got a holistic view, because you don't. And that's why we've got so much division in the world, is because we are consuming this stuff and believing that now we've read both sides of the story. Well, we haven't, It's really important that we go to reputable news sites. There's some great ones, I think often they've got a slant, but go to both sides of the fence and have a look at what's happening. We know who they are, which side they sit on, and then form your own opinion. Like I saw without getting into the risky zone of politics, no, I'm not going to go there, but it's I'm looking at the time and I'm going, nah, you don't want that podcast. Yeah.
All right, we will skip over that one. And that last question is, finish this sentence. The future of retail is?
Holistic, bricks and mortar and online.
Beautiful. Have you thought about anything you've bought online that's weird?
Oh, yes. Well, I was thinking about, the weirdest thing I could think about was a juicer where you can just crush oranges, which I thought was really cool. Because I love freshly squeezed orange juice, but I hate squeezing them. And this thing, you just push a lever and it's done. To be honest, that's about as weird as it gets, but I don't buy a lot online. I was more just amused by the answers I imagine you could get.
I'll share a couple with you later. That's some that we couldn't actually put there. All right. James Bartle, thank you very much for sharing your story. We're loving what you're doing, and just amazing to see you keep pushing forward with your mission and all the people that you help in the way you're changing the world. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for sharing with us today.
Oh, Nathan, thanks so much. Really appreciate the opportunity to come on your podcast.
To hear more from James, jump back into episode 26, where we dive deeper with James on the Outland Denim story, including how he went from motocross rider to fashion designer, where he was when he learnt that Meghan Markle was actually wearing his jeans, and how a Liam Neeson film started it all. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep adding to cart.